The following is a compLexity production.
1, 2, 3, compLexity!
This is the press conference, streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Oh, you don't be serious then!
You've got questions, we've got answers. And now, your hosts, compLexity.
Hello and welcome everybody to the press conference. My name is Skim, I'm your host for today, and I'm excited to present a couple of recurring faces here again. But before we get to our two guests, Beef, to my right, how you doing, man?
Oh, you know, man, I'm doing well. Exciting week here in compLexity. Continuing to work on our HQ. More team stuff going on. More announcements.
More announcements.
Always announcements.
Always announcements.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, we've had a good run of announcements so far, so we're gonna keep it going. Across from Beef, the very man himself, Scott Ford. How you doing?
Good, man. Feeling more like a permanent member of this crew. So let's just make it official and sign the paperwork, guys.
There you go.
Honestly, it feels like we just need two more chairs for you and Soren right now.
Like, we're going into summer.
Yeah.
Give me the extra money. Vacation will be good.
Wait, we get paid for this?
You need a better agent, sir.
There you go.
And of course, if you've already heard it, the man with a wonderful laugh right in front of me, Jordan Deaton. How's it going?
Hey, it's going well, man. Another day in paradise.
Ooh, calling this paradise?
Everything's paradise, man. Another day is another day.
That is true. That is true. All right, guys, let's get straight to it. We have a lot to talk about, or a couple of things to talk about anyway. First thing on the docket, CSGO. There's been finally the season's sort of like starting right now, like, you know, a couple online tournaments starting right now, and the one that has started for us, ECS. Already played our first tournament, and before we get to that match itself, I kind of want to talk about the format, because that's something that I think a lot of us have been more excited about. I know Jason has been very vocal about like these online tournaments, and that, you know, like these best of ones or best of twos every like week in, week out have been sort of like draining and almost actually boring to watch as well. And ECS has come out with a really cool new format, which is just, actually, you know what, Jordan, break it down for us.
Okay, so my understanding from looking at it is it's basically about 5 weeks of tournaments. Each tournament is like a week-long tournament where every match is going to be a best of 3. So it feels like an actual tournament. Like if you're getting that kind of LAN practice, whoever wins each week qualifies for the final LAN. And then there's some weird like tiebreaker stuff going on at the very end where it's like whoever has the most wins through the 5 weeks qualifies for that last spot or something like that. But basically, win a week and you're in. And it's just 3 best of 3s.
Yeah. Scott, I mean, you've been around for such a long time. I mean, surely these formats sort of like have been around as well, but why do you think have team or tournament organizers been reluctant to bring this sort of like format out?
I like it. I think I like the change. I'm kind of like an old school guy, though, so I kind of like the seasons of like Cal and just, you know, you play it, then you have your playoffs, and that's that. But, you know, new is not always bad. I think it's going to be good, and it's going to be interesting, and, you know, we're off on the right foot, so I like it right now.
Right. ECS isn't the only tournament with a new format, and this is also something that's coming up. We aren't playing it yet, but EPL also a new format. Also sort of like abandoning their online tournaments, and instead we have just a straight up LAN tournament, basically.
We're on LAN, baby.
We're on LAN.
Wow. Feels like it's been so long to say we are finally on LAN. The year is 2019, and we made it, boys. We made it. Let's go.
And it's in America too. Like it's not a long trip for us. It's like,
don't know if we can say that, but everybody should assume that it's in.
I mean, you know, it's esports.
What we can say is it's about 4 hours from Dallas via plane.
Which is anywhere in North America.
That covers every major city, so there you go.
There you go. But yeah, we're very excited to be able to play on LAN, very reminiscent of E-League back in like 2016. Kind of those 4-team groups, and seeing how you do, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I will say, both different versions, which I'm really appreciative of, is the simple fact that your leagues in the past, they almost felt like scrims. Like they never felt real because it's BO1 or BO2. You never got real practice. You're getting true practice for LAN by being in BO3s and BO5s. And it's just better. It feels more like an actual league versus these random BO ones.
I mean,
I kind of disagree. I think that having BO3s is beneficial because, like you said, it's better practice, but it doesn't feel like a league. For me, a league is storylines. That is by far the biggest thing for a league. When you have 12 weeks and every team plays each other twice or whatever it is, like you can look back and say in week 3, we played them and they had us. But then to be able to come back and say you're in week 6, we're on a hot streak, it's time to take them down. There's storylines that get built up. Whereas these kind of one-off like tournaments, I think that they're very interesting. I think it's better competition. But as a viewer, I would care more about the league. I think the problem for me was with 2 leagues mixed in with 100 tournaments. The CS scene is so oversaturated. That's what was really the issue. With only 1 league and then one doing like a LAN thing, I think there's still some benefit, and I wouldn't be surprised to see ECS change back. I think there is a need for that league setting. It just needs to be more prominent. You shouldn't have teams... Like, a team should want to play in that league over $100,000 tournament because that little $100,000 tournament shouldn't be as important. The league should have the prestige. The league should be leading into a multi-million-dollar LAN finals. People should care about it. The reality was people didn't care about the ECS and the ESL leagues, and that's what made them unfun.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, just to get back to the storylines, we saw it in Clash. I thought that was one of like Clash Royale. I thought for me personally, that was one of those league formats and one of those games where you could really follow those storylines.
Yes.
So our team, especially with that roller coaster of a season. So yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. But we talked about the best of 3s, so let's talk about our best of 3 versus eUnited yesterday. That was our start into the ECS season.
Dubs!
Scott,
What's up?
do you want to walk us through that?
To be honest, no, because I only watched Nuke and then fell asleep.
Walk us through Nuke.
Why are you on the press conference?
Because we're honest on here and we say things. I know you guys all stayed awake and watched it because I woke up and the first thing I did was let me check Twitter and see the scores.
There you go.
So we won. So I was like, all right, we're going to talk about a best of 3 today that I didn't watch. But yeah, I don't think I watched all of Nuke either. But
All right, Jordan.
Yeah.
Walk us
Let's go to the expert.
Walk us through Nuke.
Okay, so Nuke, we definitely looked a little bit uncomfortable. It was back and forth. We ended up losing 16-11. It was, overall, like we made a little bit of run at the end. It was close. Then we went to Inferno, even closer. There was some some of the most nutty shots I've ever seen in my life. The Marky op through half wall on Banana,
Marky, he had the other round where it was 2 smoke shots, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that was
Or no, that
insane.
was food.
Was it
I
food?
think that was food.
That was food. That
Was
was
it
food.
food in the
Yeah.
3v1 on Overpass?
On Overpass,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, so
Chat's
there
just
was
going nuts.
some insane shots, but overall, we do end up winning 2-1. We crush it on Overpass. I mean, we looked as the most comfortable I've ever seen us look on Overpass. I would hazard to say. Everybody, it seemed like the team was really settling into their roles and really starting to perform really well together as a team. So that was really exciting, building off of the performances that we saw at the major.
Yeah.
Going into a rematch today.
Yeah, and I mean,
Actually, tomorrow.
Or
Yeah,
tomorrow, sorry.
we got some big matches
or
coming up.
yesterday when you hear this.
Technically, yeah.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
When you hear it.
There you go. One of the things that really struck me was we're still passing the op around a lot. We have 3 or 4 different people that are picking up the op, and sometimes we even go in double and triple op.
Almost all 5, actually. I've seen everybody with the op yesterday.
Yeah,
So.
it's crazy. So I guess the team feeling a lot more comfortable with the scopes. We're still using the AUGs. So use the circle, summon the AUG changes.
I mean,
But right
as
now-
long as it's OP, you gotta use it.
But right now we are like 80% scopes consistently.
That's fair.
Pretty much.
It works.
I guess, man. But yeah,
Good stuffs.
Clearly.
I was a little bit spooked on Inferno.
What do you
man.
think when people call it a Call of Duty gun? Seeing as you're from Call of Duty or have a Call of Duty
I
background.
can care less, really. People can say what they want. It's their opinion. You're entitled.
Just putting it out there. Jordan already mentioned our upcoming opponent. We have the rematch with against NRG. It's going to be, well, again, tomorrow, yesterday, however you want to look at it. They absolutely smashed their opponents, Space Station, 16-5 and 16-4. How are you guys feeling going into Energy?
They're still a hot team, man. They're a hot team. They got a new addition. Whew. I mean, that's going to be Tarek in for Fugly. That's terrifying.
Tarek for pretty much anybody is an upgrade, right, Jordan?
Tarek is definitely one of the better players in North America right now, so I would 100% say that. I would say we don't really know what we're going into because we saw them against Space Station, and no disrespect to Space Station, but like Energy versus Space Station, they're in different tiers. So there's only so much you're going to see there. I think we saw, a combined 9 rounds won by Space Station in that series. So we don't know what we're going for, but they did upgrade their firepower. There's a ton of firepower on that roster. There's Tarek, there's Cirque, Breezy. It's a scary lineup
Ethan.
to say. Ethan, it's a scary lineup. Let's not get it twisted, but I think history the past couple of meetings has been in our favor. So I think we do definitely have a shot, to say the least.
Going to be a lot of emotions in that.
Yeah.
Energy, we did push them to the minor. So they'll be out for revenge.
And it is worth noting for everybody that normally when we're playing online matches, big online matches, we have everybody here. And that's not the case right now. We have Jordan that's in California, as Jason had talked about previously, still trying to figure out what the future is for Jordan, as well as his impact on the team. That's something that'll kind of figure out over the next few weeks here. But for now, he is playing from California. And then we've also got Rick up in Canada. He's there and playing while his visa gets sorted out. When he transferred from Renegades, we had a new visa that we had to get for him. Excuse me, that was Rogue.
You were close.
They both have R's, man. It's all kind of crazy. So we have to get that visa figured out, and we're hoping to have that done by the end of the month here. But for right now, he is playing from Canada, so some additional latency, being away from the team and not able to prep as efficiently. Didn't hurt him last night, though. He crushed last
it.
night. Hard carried.
Rick definitely pulled. So hopefully tomorrow, yesterday, whenever it's going to be played, we can show up again and show Energy who's the boss.
It ultimately comes down to you need to show up at every match. You need to hit your shots when you're on the server. Simple as that.
But that's kind of the cool thing about this tournament series in general, or the format again, right? Where we're going to probably have a chance to fight them again next week, the week after that. So
we'll definitely see.
Should be good. Before we close out CS, worth noting, Through the Smoke, our CSGO series, another episode coming up. I can't make any promises. Zach explicitly told me not to make any promises, so I will not say that another episode's coming out this week. Maybe, potentially, but yeah, just putting that out there. So look out for that one. But yeah, FIFA. I know that's a
hot topic for beef.
So let's throw it over there.
What the heck? You guys are soccer fans.
Yeah, but you're like the FIFA guy.
You're like the FIFA guy.
Yeah, I'm a FIFA guy, I guess.
You and Soren. And I guess Cam too, but Cam's basically never going to be here again.
Yeah, I mean, we're over here. Champions League is on right now. Not watching Champions League. I mean,
it's like Schalke versus.
This is
sorry we're at work, Kyle.
Cole Familia. The things we give up to make sure that you guys are informed and entertained. I can't watch that.
The tough sacrifices. FIFA. We had Joxon in Singapore at the FUT Champions Cup.
Yeah.
Want to walk us through that run?
Yeah, and so, I mean, Joxon headed down there, flying out from the west coast of the United States, a long trip. The commentators, Red Eye out there hosting, shout out to Red Eye, talking a lot about the jet lag that's associated with such a huge trip. Fortunately, he was out there a full 2 days before the actual matches started, so hopefully that wasn't too much into account. Made his way through the group stage with a 3-0 run to make it into the playoffs with 2 additional seeding matches. Ended up going 1-1 in those seeding matches and got a pretty decent round of 16 seed. He actually ended up playing against one of the guys that went to the final on his console, correct? He had a really, really tough opponent, it turned out. And he got smoked in the round of 16. He kind of messaged me and was like, this isn't something that happens normally, but I have to kind of take it. I have to put responsibility on myself, get home, practice harder, and show up for the event that's going to be in the UK next month.
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, I'm not deep into the FIFA scene, but based on what the commentator said, a couple of upsets actually at that event.
Yes. a lot of upsets. We had people like Mo Abba that was having a really difficult time in the Swiss stage. I mean, but the one upset that didn't happen, F2 Tex has now won 3 out of the 5 FUT Champs Cups. I believe that's the right number so far this season. The kid from the UK is dominant.
See, again, I'm not that big into FIFA, but I started watching him, and the guy is insane.
Yes.
Absolutely insane. And they showed like a short clip of everybody going through like, oh, who do you think is the best player in the world right now? And everyone's like, Tax for sure.
Yeah.
No questions asked. That's gonna be interesting for sure going forward. I mean, obviously, we hoping that Joxon can chip away at that.
Yeah. And I mean, there's some other news that came out today as well, and I know it's not on our rundown here, but one of the big things that everybody was kind of excited about was the E-Nations Cup, so kind of like the national cup within FIFA. And Joxon, being an American, being the number 1 American right now in global standings, he was very excited that he was going to have a good chance at representing America. He's not able to represent America because he's not part of an EMLS team. Kind of frustrating for me. We had some other really top Americans that, because they were signed with other organizations, especially European organizations, such as AS Roma Fnatic, that also aren't able to participate. So only if you're a part of the EMLS able to participate as a member of the national team. I know that's something that he's a little bit frustrated about, and I just kind of wanted to bring that up as well, that it's unfortunate that maybe some of the best talent in America, with Joxon being the highest rated American player, isn't able to represent the country on the national level.
That is indeed.
It's definitely frustrating, and I mean, I don't want to say I can understand it, because when you look at, real soccer, you don't have to play for an MLS team to represent the United States. Most of our players play in the Bundesliga in Germany. So it's like FIFA and EMLS is still new. So with their partnership and MLS working so closely with U.S. Soccer, I can see how they're starting here. But I hope in the very, very near future, like the next tournament, like we open it up to all Americans, no matter what league you play in or what club you represent, because in soccer, that's how it is.
Yeah, right now it's a little bit segmented in FIFA between the individual leagues. So you have the E-Prem and the E-Bundesliga and the EMLS. And then you have the guys that are on the global circuit. There's overlap, though, as well, because the guys that are in the EMLS are playing on some of those circuit events as well. But it's not vice versa. So it's just a little bit interesting. And I mean, I know that the guys over there at EA and that are working on FIFA, they've made leaps and bounds this year in terms of what their esport looks like. They're supporting it in a whole new way. But I'm really hopeful that they'll be able to open that up so that guys like Joxon, that'll hopefully be here at compLexity for years to come, can also be out there winning national cups for the U.S.
I could almost even argue that it's like these are sort of like growing pains of an esport that's
absolutely.
It's not a new esport by any means, because FIFA's been around for such a long time. Competitive FIFA has been around for such a long time, but it's still smaller than most or than the ones that we're used to.
On a global level, it is a new esport.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
That'll change.
All right, let's move on to one of the games that I know Soren is very passionate about, and we at compLexity have been passionate about for a long time. Hearthstone. We've had 2 players at WESG. Jordan.
Yeah, 2 players in China for WESG. And so this is the point where I admit that I did not see it. It was way too early in the morning, but I did watch the VODs.
There you go.
And did my watching.
Did you analyze it?
Huh?
You analyze it?
I did.
You gonna analyze it for us right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna analyze it right now. We're doing it live. No,
let's go.
We had Jordude and we had Justine there. Jordude was in the co-ed group and Justine was in the female group. Jordude, he flew down from Japan. He's played well, but he kind of teched his decks very much towards facing an aggro lineup. He said on his Twitter, you can go see that there was basically no information about groups going in. And so he had no clue who was in his group, had no clue what they were bringing. So right now, the dominant meta is to bring more aggro decks. And so it's shifting toward control. So he brought a kind of a mixed match. Unfortunately, because of who he got in his group, they didn't bring aggro. So he did fall out in groups. He fell out 2-3.
2-3.
So, super unfortunate. Meanwhile, Justine, on the female side, she killed it, man. She placed third in the whole tournament, so that was pretty exciting. Her final, she ended up playing in the semifinals. She played against the eventual winner, and then pretty much crushed her third place match. Her decks, she brought some top tier decks, so pretty exciting overall. Good showing. Definitely a tough tournament, but proud.
I'm pretty sure it was her first match on stage as well, or
I
like
think
her first
that's
tournament
her
on
first
stage.
LAN
Yeah,
if memory serves me correctly.
She's
Competed
been
in
on
qualifiers in the States and
yes,
stuff.
Yeah.
she's been on stage before, but with a live crowd.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Correct. I apologize.
And this was her furthest she had to travel from New York to China. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a trip.
this was a very big change for her, and the whole org is very proud of her, and she's only going to grow from this.
yeah, definitely excited. I mean,
It's
again,
incredible for somebody to be out there, and she's qualifying for prelims. She was invited to WSOE, couldn't go to that because of school, and then out there winning WCG America, WXG America, then goes to the Chinese finals. All of this while she's in school, and just got accepted to be a doctor. So she's
med
going to
school,
medical
yeah.
school soon, which is like that's
No.
effort, man.
100%. 100%.
That's crazy. So proud.
and I mean, even the WSG America, she crushed her group as well.
Yeah.
Her qualifier to even go to the Latin event. So definitely mad props to her. And again, we're excited for what comes up next for her.
Yep.
Also excited about Madden, because as you told me just earlier today, actually, Madden Challenge is coming up.
Madden Challenge this Friday.
So it was next week.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's the 15th through 17th.
So that's this weekend.
That's this weekend. See, I've been getting my weeks all messed up, but this one is this weekend. So Drini going to defend his title. He is the Madden Challenge champion, and he's excited to be out there in Northern California once more. And I mean, this is the one that he says he's the best at. Each one of them has their own individual little rule sets, but this is the one that he's hoping that he can bring home the win again, make his way out to the Madden Bowl.
And of course, we're going to be the first row. Well, not literally, but from the
Maybe.
offices, maybe.
You never know.
Never know. By the way, while we're at Madden still, do you guys see what he tweeted out? He's actually in the game right now. Mm-hmm. They have him.
Yeah.
Oof,
Dude, he's
that's so
awesome.
dope.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Along with our Clash guys a couple days ago in the client.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Mobile Matt, our director of mobile gaming. He has been absolutely crushing it with his Battleground weeklies. Probably the hottest thing in Clash Royale esports right now. Got some promotion from Supercell, like we said, in game. Colton was in game. Our team did make it into the semifinals of that weekly bracket this week before they lost to Tribe. So they made it to finals. They got second.
Did you see all the tweets from all the Clash Royale pros as well? A lot of them, because pretty much like us, we've been waiting for CRL season 2, right? We were anxious, or we're excited and hopeful of that season to come, but a lot of pros have been sort of like worrying and maybe like what's happening, where's it coming, and there was nothing competitively speaking, and now with this, everybody gets to compete again, and suddenly everybody feels the fire.
Yeah.
So
Been loving what Matt's been doing with it last week. He kind of emulated what they had done previously in Friday Fortnite and Code Red events, where everybody streams their own, and growing the viewership. This week they're doing what they're calling like the talent spotlight or something like that, where they have a pre-tournament that allows 8 players to go into 2 new teams, so they don't have to have pre-experience. So just trying to find new talent, and I mean, it's great. I love what Matt's doing out there.
I mean, his Twitter handle, Mobile Matt, is literally, it's so fitting. People respect him, and I mean, for all the right reasons.
I think Clash Royale followed him. That was a big one.
He did.
that
They
happened.
follow less than 100 people.
And Matt is one. He's one of 97.
Damn. Damn.
That's a dub.
That is a dub.
Talk about stats right there.
All right, yeah. But as Beef said, if you want to follow Clash Royale and our team, definitely make sure to also not only follow us on Twitter, but also Mobile Matt, because his stuff is awesome. Let's move on. Speaking of awesome, we have another announcement.
We do, and you guys will have seen it by the time that this goes out, but we have signed Lanjok, Punisher's partner in Fortnite. So one of the youngsters out of the West Coast here, and I think he was top 10 on the earnings list for unsigned free agents. So somebody that's had some winnings as well. We're very excited to bring Punisher's full duo into the organization. Lanjok, an incredible player, a phenomenal young talent. It's going to be awesome to have him. We're planning on having him out here to Frisco so that we can get him a little bit better ping during the World Cup qualifiers that are coming up. Because if you guys don't know, if you're not huge Fortnite people or you're not in the competitive Fortnite space, getting games on West Coast servers is just pretty much impossible in competitive Fortnite. So for people that are out there in the Western region, it's very, very difficult to play on 100+ ping in Fortnite. They even had a bug this morning where like they had doubled the ping for everybody. Like it was something else. But at least they've got Jurassic World balls that you can fly around on now. So, but yeah, we're gonna have Lanjok out here for World Cup, and we're really excited about it, man. World Cup is going to be an incredible event coming up next month.
It will be. Yeah, we'll have Lanjok and Punisher here in Frisco. And Punisher moved out here already. I've been grinding on stream, so if you want to watch him, I think it's just twitch.tv/Punisher. Was it VV Punisher? I think it's just Punisher now.
I think it's just Punisher, but don't hold me to that. You can check complexitygaming.com, go to the roster page, go to the Fortnite page on that roster, and you'll have a link right there that you could go to.
This is why I brought in Jordan.
Or you just go to twitch.tv/team/complexity.
Also there.
And you'll see all of our streamers.
That's also true. Yeah, a lot of Fortnite been like pretty much our entire team has been grinding.
Yes.
Everybody is on stream pretty much daily. Hogman and Macwood have been grinding. We talked about their Code Red win. They placed 5th in the Gauntlet duos this last weekend.
They had Share the Love a couple weeks ago. Gauntlet. Now they got the Scallywag coming up, right?
No.
And defending their title in Code Red.
In Code Red. This weekend, I believe, right?
So
Yes.
lots of stuff going on. The Scallywag, the kind of precursor to World Cup, you could say. And I think everybody's excited about that as Fortnite expands at complexity.
Let's talk about the Scallywag Duos Cup, where this is a 100K tournament that they're using to test their payment system. So 100K tournament just to test that the payment system is ready to go for World Cup. Just how amazing is that?
If you have the money, you know?
I mean, when you're spending $100 million on prizing for the year,
Yes.
minimum, like they're probably going to spend more than that. Not even taking into consideration all the people that are working on esports, all the LAN events, all the promotion, all that kind of stuff.
To travel and lodging in New York City.
For hundreds of people, it's going to be a little bit nuts. I mean, but when you bring in as many people as the Marshmallow concert did, I'm sure you got
Was it
the money.
10.7 million?
Something like that.
like that,
The
yeah.
biggest concert of all time. Crazy.
But-
Fortnite.
I thought about that just this morning as well. Like the fact that 100K tournament is just basically a test for them, a test run for them. In Dota right now, there's also just like a 4-day tournament, just online tournament even, with like a 30K prize pool or something. Like esports has come a long way. 5 years ago, 30K was like the biggest tournament in Dota, for example. So
Pretty sure we have checks hanging on our office wall from 40K, which was like one of our biggest CS wins. First North American team to win overseas, and 40K.
Now you get 12K for winning one of the ECS series.
You get 50K for qualifying to the World Cup.
Of Fortnite.
For a person, one person. That 50, you got to remember, that 50K was split up between 5 people, maybe a coach, maybe the organization.
It was at this point that I'm just letting you know I'm going to start playing Fortnite full time.
That's what I was just telling Scott. I'm like, man, we went down the wrong path, man. We should have kept being players.
I got my Fortnite highlight video, the automated video in the mail yesterday. Dawn Shot, 139 matches together last season. They said he's my best mate.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
I haven't played one game in Season 8, though.
I got a video of Shiloh from my phone.
That's great. We were talking Fortnite.
Yeah, well, hey, shout out to Shiloh. 1 year with the little buddy since yesterday.
I did suggest that if we ever run low on guests, we could just put Shiloh on the desk.
I mean, Shiloh can take my seat because I'm not here next week.
It's true. You're going to be in Iceland.
I am going to be in Iceland.
Much needed.
And Jason's back, so guess what that means? Scott gets to sit in that seat tomorrow.
It's going to be the first time I've missed press
Technically, we
conference.
could also bring Soren in. No, well, actually, he would.
Could.
have
All
to
right,
sit
boys,
in
we got to wrap this up. We got
right.
questions, and then we're done.
there. All right. One question from one of our fan elites, Dr. Waldo. I guess we kind of already talked about that, but we can
We did.
still
We can summarize.
We could still summarize it. Thoughts on the NRG match tomorrow? Maybe want to take any bets?
We're gonna crush them. You can take that to the bank.
I think it's going to be an entertaining match. You know, they want to beat us for what we did to them at the major, and they have Tarek, so it's going to be different. So it's just, you know, we need to come out and play like we played at the major to have the same success, but we will see.
I will not bet on the outcome, but I would bet this would go 3 maps.
I think so too.
Safe bet.
Here's what I would say. I think it was no secret that we made offers for Tarek in the past here, and he didn't come here. Maybe maybe Stan's like, yo, Tarek, we're gonna anti-strat the crap out of you guys now. Like, this is like a vendetta now.
I know he likes to hold that spot. Let's mess him up.
There you go.
Mind games.
We shall see.
Maybe maybe a little bit of all chat. Couple of question marks.
Couple question marks.
Oh, no.
Banter? Oh, no. Banter.
All right. That wraps it up for this week of press conference. Thanks to everybody for listening in. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter, Discord, Reddit, wherever you can find us, Facebook, Instagram. Smoke signals.
Carrier pigeons.
As long as you can sort of make out the hashtag ColdPC, we'll be listening and we'll be watching. Thanks everybody for joining me, and see you guys next week. Well, not you, but probably
Not me.
I'll be back.
I'll be in Iceland, freezing.
See you then.
Adios.
Adios.